chosen one. They erased you, not with words, with silence. They stopped calling, stopped asking, stopped seeing you. You became the person they stepped around at family dinners, the name they forgot to mention, the chair at the table nobody saved. And listen, I know what that does to a soul at 2 a.m. when the house is too quiet and the mirror shows you a face the world decided doesn't matter anymore. But here's what they didn't know. Heaven was in that room with you, recording, remembering. Every single time they made you feel small, God was taking notes. And tonight, right now, He sent me to tell you something that's going to crack your chest wide open. You were never forgotten. Not for 1 second. Not for one breath. While they moved on, God was moving in. While they wrote you off, heaven was writing your comeback. And the vindication that's about to hit your life is so precise, so surgical, it's going to leave them speechless. If you can feel something stirring in your spirit right now, something you haven't felt in years, type 5 words in the comments. I'm still here. I'm still standing. That's not just a comment. That's a declaration of war against every lie that said you were done. Don't you dare click away. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how God has been setting the stage for the most stunning reversal of your entire life. The kind where people who forgot your name will be forced to remember it. The kind where closed doors don't just open, they bow. Stay with me until the end. There's a prayer coming that's going to shatter every chain of invisibility off your life. Your season isn't over, chosen one. It's just been hidden, and God's about to pull back the curtain. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That moment when your own daughter called not to ask how you were doing, but to ask if you could babysit again. And when you said you weren't feeling well, there was that silence on the other end, that cold, thin silence that said more than any words could. Then she said she'd call you back. She didn't. You sat there holding the phone for 20 minutes, staring at it like maybe it would ring again. Like maybe she'd remember you were her mother, not just free childcare. But it didn't ring. And that's when the thought crept in, the one you've been trying to push down for months, maybe years. Does anybody even care that I'm still here? Listen to me, chosen one. You are not being dramatic. You're not being too sensitive. What you're feeling right now, that ache in your chest that won't go away, that's real. And I'm not going to tell you to just pray it away or get over it. Because the people who say that have never sat alone in a doctor's office at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, watching everyone else walk in with someone who cares. You have. You sat there filling out forms with shaking hands, checking the box that says emergency contact, and realizing you're not sure who to put down anymore. The people you raised, the people you sacrificed for, the people you gave your best years to, they're all too busy. They've got careers. They've got their own lives. They've got plans that apparently don't include you. And here's the part that cuts deepest. You gave them everything. You worked 2 jobs so they could go to college. You skipped meals so they could eat. You wore the same coat for 7 winters so they could have new ones. You prayed over them when they were sick, held them when they were scared, believed in them when nobody else did. And now you're the afterthought. The obligation they'll get to when things slow down. The name they scroll past on their phone, the voice they don't have time to hear. You've become invisible. Like an old photograph left in a dusty box in the attic. Like a book everybody skimmed once and then shoved back on the shelf, spine cracked, pages yellowed, forgotten. I know some of you worked at the same company for 32 years. Showed up early, stayed late, trained the people who eventually got promoted over you. And when they restructured, when they downsized, when they decided to go in a new direction, you were the first one they let go. They gave you a generic thank you card and a plastic plaque with your name misspelled. 32 years. And that's all you got. You sat in your car in that parking lot for an hour, hands on the steering wheel, trying to figure out what you were supposed to do with the rest of your life. Because that job wasn't just a paycheck, it was your identity, it was your purpose. And they took it like it was nothing, like you were nothing. And then there's the church. Oh, the church. You were there every Sunday for 40 years. You set up chairs, you made coffee, you cleaned the kitchen, you served in the nursery when nobody else would. You tithed when you didn't have it to give. You prayed for people who never prayed for you. And when you got sick, when you couldn't serve anymore, when you became the one who needed help, the calls stopped, the visits stopped. You became a name on the prayer list they rushed through at the end of the service, a face they used to know but can't quite remember anymore. And late at night, when the house is so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat, the questions come. Did I waste my life? Did any of it matter? Does God even remember the promises He made to me when I was young? You remember those promises, don't you? Back when your faith was on fire. Back when you believed God had something big planned for your life. Back when you actually thought your latter days would be greater than your former. But look at you now, sitting in a house that's too big and too empty, scrolling through social media, watching your own grandchildren celebrate birthdays you weren't invited to, being talked over at family dinners like your voice doesn't carry weight anymore. You've felt it, haven't you? That crushing realization that you've become the person people tolerate, not the person they treasure. The Bible says in Psalm 71:9, "Do not cast me away when I am old. Do not forsake me when my strength is gone." David wrote that because he knew. He knew what it felt like to be yesterday's anointing. He knew what it felt like to watch a whole generation rise up while he sat in the corner, wondering if God was done with him. You are not crazy for feeling this. You are not weak for asking these questions. What you went through was real. The betrayal was real. The invisibility is real. The loneliness that sits on your chest at 3 a.m. like a physical weight, that's real too. But here's what I need you to hear before we go one step further. So is the God who saw all of it. Every tear that soaked your pillow. Every time you bit your tongue when you wanted to scream. Every moment you smiled in public while dying in private. God was there, watching, recording, remembering. And what if I told you that the very people who forgot you are about to be forced to remember? What if the years you thought were wasted were actually the setup for the most stunning vindication of your entire life? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what God does with people the world tried to erase. You want to know the real difference between being rejected and being hidden? Rejection says you're worthless. Hidden says you're priceless. And chosen one, I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being. You were not discarded, you were preserved. There is a canyon-wide difference between those two things. And the enemy has spent years trying to make you believe the wrong one. Let me paint you a picture. When a master jeweler has a flawless diamond, a stone so rare it could change someone's life, where does he put it? On the discount shelf in the front window where every passerby can grab it? No, he locks it in the back safe, behind steel, in the dark, not because it's worthless, but because it's waiting for the right moment, the right buyer, the right price. That's you. God doesn't put His most precious assets on clearance racks. He doesn't leave His chosen ones exposed to every careless hand that wants to touch them. When God hides something, it's not punishment, it's protection. It's preparation for a purpose so specific that premature exposure would ruin it. You think you've been sitting on a shelf collecting dust? No. You've been aging like fine wine in a cellar. And anyone who knows anything about wine will tell you, the most valuable bottles are kept in the dark, not because they're bad, because they're becoming something rare. Let me show you something from Scripture that'll break this thing wide open. Joseph, 17 years old, dreamer, favored son. then betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused by a woman scorned, thrown into an Egyptian prison, and forgotten. Genesis 40 tells us he helped Pharaoh's cupbearer interpret a dream and asked one simple thing: "Remember me when things go well for you." But the cupbearer forgot him. 2 full years Joseph sat in that prison. Not 2 weeks, not 2 months, 730 days of wondering if God had forgotten his name, the same God who gave him those dreams in the first place. But here's what Joseph didn't see. God wasn't late. God was precise. Because exactly when Pharaoh had a dream that no one in Egypt could interpret, suddenly the cupbearer's memory came flooding back. Oh yeah, there's this Hebrew guy in the dungeon. Within 24 hours, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister, second in command of the most powerful nation on earth. Not because people finally remembered him, because God's timing arrived. People forgot Joseph. God did not. You hearing me? Just because your phone is silent doesn't mean heaven is. Let me give you another one. David, youngest of 8 sons, so overlooked that when the prophet Samuel showed up to anoint the next king of Israel, David's own father didn't even bother to call him in from the fields, left him out there with the sheep like an afterthought. Even his own daddy didn't think he mattered. But God sent Samuel back out to get him, and 1 Samuel 16:7 records what God said. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. David wasn't forgotten. He was being prepared in obscurity for a throne he couldn't yet see. Those years in the wilderness weren't wasted. They were the training ground for killing giants and leading nations. You've been in the wilderness too, haven't you? Wondering why your siblings got the calls and you didn't. Why your name stopped being mentioned at reunions. Why opportunities went to people half as qualified. Let me tell you why. Because God was protecting you from platforms you weren't ready for, from people who would have used you and discarded you, from success that would have destroyed you before you were strong enough to carry it. The isolation wasn't rejection, it was divine strategy. And here's one more that'll wreck you if you let it. Luke chapter 2. Anna, 84 years old, widowed for most of her life, spent decades in the temple praying, fasting, worshipping in a corner that nobody paid attention to. An old woman the world had written off. But when Mary and Joseph brought baby Jesus to the temple, Anna was there, exactly on time, not early, not late. Her whole life had been preparation for that one moment to see the Messiah with her own eyes and prophesy over him. She didn't miss her moment because she was old. She was perfectly positioned because she stayed faithful in the hidden years. God's been keeping you in the temple, chosen one, in the secret place, in the shadows, not because you don't matter, but because what he's preparing you for requires a level of intimacy with him that crowds would have stolen from you. You weren't discarded, you were preserved. And here's what I need you to understand as we move forward. While you were hidden, God wasn't sleeping. He was taking notes, recording every betrayal, every dismissive comment, every time they walked past you like you were furniture. Heaven keeps receipts. And the very thing that embarrassed you, your age, your obscurity, your invisibility, is about to become the evidence God uses in your vindication. Because when God moves, he doesn't just open doors. He makes sure everyone who slammed them in your face has a front row seat to watch you walk through. So, let me ask you something that's going to set up everything that comes next. What if the silence wasn't the end of your story, but the setup for the most dramatic entrance of your life? Listen to me closely, chosen one. While they were busy erasing you from their memory, God was writing you into his. You think heaven forgot the night you stayed up until 4 a.m. praying for a child who wouldn't even return your calls. You think the Almighty missed the moment you gave your last $20 to someone who never said thank you. You think the creator of the universe looked away when you forgave the person who shattered your reputation and never once apologized? No, he saw it all, and he wrote it down. Psalm 56:8 says it plain. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Every tear you cried in secret bottled, every sleepless night documented, every act of faithfulness when no one was watching, recorded in the archives of eternity. Heaven keeps receipts, beloved, and not the kind that fade. These are eternal records written in permanent ink before the throne of the Most High. Malachi 3:16 tells us, Then those who feared the Lord spoke with one another. The Lord paid attention and heard them, and a book of remembrance was written before him. A book of remembrance. Not a suggestion, not a maybe. A book with your name in it. With every moment of quiet obedience. With every sacrifice nobody clapped for. With every time you chose God when choosing yourself would have been easier. Let me tell you what's in that book. God saw the day you walked away from the relationship that everybody said was good for you, but you knew in your spirit wasn't from Him. He wrote that down. He saw the afternoon you sat alone in the hospital waiting room because your own family was too busy. He recorded that. He saw the morning you woke up and chose worship over worry, even though the bills were stacked higher than your faith felt. He made note of that too. And beloved, He saw the moment, that specific moment, when the people you sacrificed everything for looked right through you like you were invisible. That one hurt, didn't it? You gave them your best years. You poured out your strength. You showed up when they needed you. And when you needed them, silence, excuses, distance. But listen carefully. While they were deleting your number, God was adding up the cost. While they were moving on without you, heaven was building a case for you. And the evidence they thought disqualified you? That's exactly what God is using to prove you were chosen all along. You were never too old. You were being prepared. You were never forgotten. You were being protected. You were never rejected. You were being redirected. Every closed door was God shutting you out of something that would have destroyed you. Every betrayal was Him removing people who would have delayed your destiny. Every lonely season was Him isolating you so He could elevate you without interference. They thought they were sidelining you. God was positioning you. And now, right now, something is shifting in the heavenly courts. Think of it like this. Imagine a courtroom. The gavel is about to fall. The judge, the righteous judge, has heard all the evidence. He's reviewed the receipts. He's examined every witness. And the verdict he's about to render is so precise, so perfectly timed, so devastatingly in your favor, that even your enemies are going to have to sit down and watch God defend you. You don't need a lawyer when God is your witness. You don't need to defend yourself when heaven has already documented your case. You don't need to prove anything when the King of Kings is about to prove everything on your behalf. Here's what they didn't understand. God doesn't waste pain. He weaponizes it. Every moment of rejection is being converted into resurrection. Every season of humiliation is being transformed into vindication. Every whisper that said you were finished is about to be drowned out by the roar of heaven's approval. And beloved, when God vindicates His chosen, it's not quiet, it's not subtle, it's not behind the scenes. It's public, it's undeniable, and it leaves no room for argument. The same people who counted you out will count the blessings God is about to pour into your life. The same voices that said you were done will watch in stunned silence as God opens doors they said were permanently closed. The same family members who forgot you even existed will suddenly remember your name because heaven is about to attach favor to it that cannot be ignored. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every test was training. Every trial was testimony. Every tear watered the ground for a harvest they never saw coming. So don't you dare give up now. Don't you dare believe the lie that it's too late. Don't you dare let the enemy convince you that God moved on without you. You are not an afterthought in heaven's plan. You are the centerpiece of a divine setup that's been years in the making. And the vindication that's coming, it's not going to be what you expected. It's going to be bigger. Because God doesn't just restore what was lost. He multiplies it. He upgrades it. He resurrects it with such power that everyone watching will know beyond any shadow of doubt that only God could have done this. Now stay with me, because we're about to step into the part where heaven declares the verdict. And what you're about to hear is going to shatter every limitation the enemy ever whispered over your life. Chosen one, I need you to see something right now. There's a courtroom, not the kind downtown with marble floors and tired bailiffs. This is the courtroom of heaven, and you're standing in the center of it. On one side, there's a line of accusers. You know their faces. Some of them share your last name. Some of them used to sit in your living room. Some of them promised they'd never leave. And now they're standing there, arms crossed, shaking their heads like a jury that's already made up its mind. Too old, one says. Too broken, whispers another. Wasted too much time. Made too many mistakes. Not anointed enough. Not spiritual enough. Not enough. And behind them, behind them stands the enemy himself. He's got a folder, a thick one. Every bad decision you ever made. Every word you wish you could take back. Every moment of weakness, every compromise, every sin you thought you buried in the basement of your soul. He's holding it up like evidence, like proof, like a death sentence already signed. And for a moment, chosen one, you feel it, that crushing weight, that voice in your head that says, maybe they're right, maybe I did miss my season, maybe God's done with me. But then, the judge stands. And when God Almighty rises from his throne, the whole room goes silent. Not the kind of silence where people are waiting to speak, the kind of silence where even demons hold their breath. He looks at the accusers, he looks at the enemy, he looks at that folder full of your past, and then he does something they didn't expect. He overrules, not with a whisper, not with hesitation, with the kind of authority that makes mountains bow and seas split wide open. He says, I don't remember any of that. Isaiah 43:25 says it plain. I, even I, am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake, and I will not remember your sins. Did you catch that? God chose to forget. Not because he's senile, not because he's soft, because the blood of Jesus already paid the bill, and when God says a debt is cancelled, hell itself can't resurrect it. The gavel in God's hand is heavier than any gossip in their mouth. Every lie they told about you? Overruled. Every rumor they spread? Inadmissible. Every time they counted you out, wrote you off, laughed behind your back, made you feel small, dismissed. When heaven says overruled, every accusing voice has to sit down and shut up. But here's where it gets good, chosen one. Here's the part they didn't see coming. You thought you were on trial, but really, they were. God has been watching how they treated you. Every cold shoulder, every unanswered call, every time they made you feel invisible at your own family table, every promotion they gave to someone less qualified, every invitation they forgot to send. God recorded it all, and mistreating one of his chosen ones? That was the worst decision they ever made. Zechariah 2:8 says, He who touches you touches the apple of his eye. You know what happens when you poke God in the eye? See, they thought they had power over your story. They thought their rejection could define your future. They thought their silence could erase your name from the narrative, but they were never the author. There's only one opinion that defines you, chosen one, and he doesn't sit in the comments section of your life. He doesn't scroll through your failures looking for reasons to disqualify you. He sits on the throne, And from that throne, he's been writing a comeback so precise, so undeniable, that when it hits, they won't just remember your name, they'll have to say it with respect. If you're still here and this is hitting you deep, I want you to do something right now. Type these 5 words in the comments. That's not just a comment, that's a legal declaration. That's you signing your name to heaven's verdict. That's you agreeing with what God already said about you before the foundation of the world. And listen, don't you dare leave before the end of this message. There's a prayer coming that's going to seal this verdict over your life. A prayer that's going to shatter every false judgment, every lying accusation, every demonic sentence they tried to pass over you. Because here's what I know. The courtroom scene isn't over. God's not done presenting his case. And what he's about to reveal in the next few minutes is going to prove that your vindication isn't just coming, it's already been signed. The question is, are you ready to receive it? Listen to me. If you're sitting there thinking your best years are behind you, that the good wine has already been poured, and all that's left is the dregs at the bottom of the barrel, I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being. You've been lied to. The world looks at your age and sees an ending. God looks at your age and sees a setup. They see retirement. He sees reassignment. They see your sunset. He sees the final act where the whole plot flips and everyone who counted you out has to sit down and watch him prove them wrong. You know what kills me? The church has bought into this lie that once you hit a certain age, you're supposed to just fade into the background, volunteer at the bake sale, babysit the grandkids, smile politely while the younger generation takes over, as if God suddenly runs out of plans the moment you collect Social Security. That is not how heaven operates. Let me take you to the book of Joshua, chapter 14. Caleb is 85 years old. 85. The war is over. The younger men are dividing up the easy land, the valleys, the flat country, the safe neighborhoods. And Caleb, this man who should be in a rocking chair by worldly standards, he walks up to Joshua and says something that should be tattooed on every senior citizen's heart. I am still as strong today as I was the day Moses sent me out. Give me this mountain. Not the retirement village, not the easy inheritance, the mountain, the place where giants still lived, the hardest fight, the biggest promise. Why? Because Caleb understood something that most people miss. God saves the hardest assignments for the people who've been through the most. Your age isn't disqualifying you, it's qualifying you. Every year you survived, every betrayal you endured, every loss that should have destroyed you but didn't, those weren't detours, those were training. You think those were wasted years? No. You were being forged, tempered, made unshakable. And now, right now, God is about to hand you something that requires exactly the kind of strength that only comes from surviving what you survived. Look at me. You are not in God's leftover years. You are in His revealing years. This is where He shows the world what happens when someone refuses to quit. When someone keeps believing, even when the bills don't make sense, and the kids don't call, and the mirror shows wrinkles nobody warned you about. You remember the wedding at Cana, Jesus' first miracle. They ran out of wine. Embarrassment was coming. Failure was at the door. And Jesus didn't just refill the jars. He turned water into the best wine they'd ever tasted. And you know what the master of the banquet said? Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine. But you have kept the good wine until now. Until now. Chosen one, do you hear that? God has been saving something, holding it back. Not because He forgot about you, but because the timing wasn't right. The stage wasn't set. The audience wasn't ready. But now the moment has come. And what He's about to release into your life is going to be so good, so unexpected, so precisely timed, that people are going to know it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was God proving a point. And that point is this: He never wastes a life that's surrendered to Him. You think you're too old to start over? Moses was 80 when God called him at the burning bush. Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born. Sarah laughed at the impossibility, and then she held the miracle in her arms. Anna, the prophetess, was 84 when she recognized the Messiah in the temple. Everyone else walked past that baby, but she saw him. Why? Because decades of waiting had sharpened her discernment. Your years haven't dulled you, they've sharpened you. You're like a tree that grew in storms. Everybody else got the easy soil, the gentle rain, the sunshine. But you got the wind, the lightning, the floods. And because of that, your roots went down deep, deeper than anyone can see. So deep that when the next storm comes, and it will, you won't even sway. You'll stand there like you've been standing all along, and people will wonder how. The answer is simple: you've already survived worse. And God is about to use that survival as the foundation for the most stunning chapter of your entire life. You're not at the end of the book, beloved. You're at the plot twist, the part where the underdog wins, where the overlooked gets chosen, where the one they left for dead walks back into the room, alive. So let me ask you something, and I want you to answer this in your spirit. If God is still giving you breath, don't you think He still has a reason? You're still here. That's not an accident. That's not luck. That's intentional. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to show you next is how this reversal doesn't just happen in theory. It's going to show up in your real life, in your family, in your finances, in your body, in the very places they said it was over. God's about to make liars out of all of them. Listen to me carefully, chosen one. I need you to understand something that most preachers won't tell you because it sounds too good to be true. But I've walked this earth long enough, buried enough saints, and watched enough comebacks to know this is gospel. When God vindicates you, He doesn't just clear your name, He rewrites the entire narrative. You've been sitting in that chair wondering how. How could God possibly turn this around? How could anyone who dismissed you, who stopped inviting you, who treated you like yesterday's news, how could they ever see you differently? Let me paint you a picture, and I want you to really see this. It's a Tuesday afternoon. Your phone rings. It's that daughter who rolled her eyes every time you mentioned prayer, the one who said your faith was old-fashioned. But now her voice is shaking, her marriage is crumbling, her kids are out of control. And the first words out of her mouth are, "Mom, Dad, I need you to pray for me." That's vindication. Or maybe it's your son who moved 3 states away and only called on holidays. Suddenly he's at your kitchen table asking, "How did you and Dad make it through those hard years? I need to know what you know." That's God proving them wrong, not with your words, with your life. With the fact that you're still standing when everything said you should have collapsed. With the peace in your eyes that no retirement account could buy. With the strength in your spirit that didn't come from a gym, it came from Calvary. Psalm 23:5 says it plain. "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." You see that? God doesn't hide your blessing. He sets it up right in front of the people who said you were done. Not to humiliate them, but to educate them, to show them who you really were all along. Now let's talk money for a second, because I know some of you have been scraping by on a fixed income, watching the bills pile up, wondering if you'll ever catch a break. Here's what vindication looks like in your finances. That unexpected check in the mail, that debt you've been dragging for 15 years, suddenly forgiven. That apartment you thought you'd lose, paid up, stable, secure, and you didn't hustle for it. You didn't manipulate for it. Heaven released it. Philippians 4:19 promises, "My God shall supply all your need according to His riches in glory." Not according to your age, not according to your credit score, according to his riches. And baby, he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Your need doesn't scare him. But here's where it gets even deeper. Some of you thought your body had given up on you. The doctor's reports, the prescriptions, the cane, the wheelchair, the exhaustion that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing Everest. God is about to prove them wrong about your health too. Not because you're going to be 25 again, but because Isaiah 40:31 is still true. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You're going to wake up one morning with strength you haven't felt in years. Enough strength to take that walk, to visit that grandchild, to serve in that ministry, to finally do the thing you thought time had stolen from you. And people are going to ask, "What happened to you?" And all you'll be able to say is, "God happened." Now listen, because this is critical. Vindication is not about you throwing their words back in their faces. It's not about the "I told you so" moment. That's flesh, that's pride, and pride will rob you of the very breakthrough God is handing you. God's goal is not revenge, it's revelation. He's not trying to embarrass them, he's trying to reveal you, to show the world, and honestly, to show you who you've been all along. A warrior, a survivor, a carrier of his presence. You won't have to clap back, chosen one. Your peace will clap back for you. Your stability will preach sermons your mouth never could. The way you walk into a room with your head up, your heart whole, your spirit unbroken, that's the loudest testimony on earth. So, right now, I want you to do something. Quietly, between you and God. Bring before him the faces, the names, the ones who hurt you, the ones who forgot you, the ones who should have stood by you but didn't. And I want you to release them. Not because they deserve it, because you do. Because what's ahead of you is too massive, too anointed, too significant to be dragging that weight into it. Forgiveness isn't about them, it's about unlocking you. Because here's the final truth that's going to blow your mind. When God proves them wrong, it won't just be that they misjudged you. It will be that they misjudged what God was building in you all along. Every tear, every betrayal, every closed door, every silent night. God was using all of it to construct something they couldn't see. A temple, a testimony, a weapon of hope for a generation that's forgotten how to believe. And now it's time for the unveiling. So the question isn't if God will prove them wrong. The question is, are you ready to walk in it when he does? Because what comes next, what I'm about to show you, is going to require every ounce of faith you've got left. Listen to me carefully, chosen one. God is about to prove them all wrong, but here's the part most people miss. You have a role to play in your own vindication. This isn't some passive waiting game where you sit in a corner hoping heaven remembers your address. No, God is inviting you into partnership. He's saying, I'll move heaven and earth for you, but I need you to move with me. And the first move? Stay in character. I know what you're thinking. After what they did to me? After they left me in the cold? You want me to stay kind? Yes, exactly that. Because here's the truth they don't teach you in Sunday school. Bitterness will disqualify you faster than sin ever could. You can be right about everything they did wrong and still lose your blessing because you let poison sit in your chest. Hebrews 12:15 warns, "See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble." That bitterness, it's not hurting them, it's choking you. It's blocking the very doors God is trying to open. So your assignment, your sacred assignment, is to stay kind, stay truthful, stay faithful, even when they don't deserve it. Especially when they don't deserve it. This is how you prepare the soil for vindication. Now, here's the second move. Prepare for the doors. God is about to open rooms you never applied to enter, conversations you never auditioned for, opportunities that have your name written on them in heaven's ledger. But you've got to be ready. Not with perfection, with presence, with a sharp mind, with a spirit that's awake. Keep learning. I don't care if you're 65, 75, 85, your brain didn't retire when your job did. Read, pray, write your story down so your grandchildren know what faith looks like under fire. Proverbs 4-7 says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom." God is positioning you, but preparation is your part. You think Moses stumbled into Pharaoh's court unprepared? He spent 40 years in the wilderness learning humility and leadership. You think Esther walked into the king's presence by accident? She was trained for such a time as this. Your wilderness wasn't wasted. It was training. And now the door is about to swing wide. Third move. Guard your words like a soldier guards a post. Stop rehearsing the old narratives. Nobody cares about me anymore. Nothing ever changes. I'm too old for miracles. Every time you speak that, you're building a monument to defeat. You're preaching a funeral over a life that's still breathing. Job 22:28 declares, "You will also declare a thing, and it will be established for you." Your words are not neutral. They're either building or demolishing. So even if your voice shakes, even if you have to whisper it through tears, speak life. Say, "God sees me. God remembers me. My vindication is already in motion." That's not denial. That's warfare. And here's the fourth move, and this one's going to sting a little. Release the need to be understood by everyone. You don't need their apology. You don't need their acknowledgement. You don't need them to finally get it. What you need is God's endorsement. And once you have that, their opinion becomes background noise. Romans 12:19 says, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord." Translation: step back and let God handle it. Your job is not to make them see. Your job is to stay aligned, so when God moves, you're in position to receive. This is the deepest freedom you'll ever know, when you stop needing people to validate your pain and start trusting God to vindicate your purpose. So here's what I'm asking you to do right now. If you're choosing to partner with God in this vindication, if you're saying, "I'm done with bitterness, I'm done with rehearsing defeat, I'm ready to walk in character and prepare for what's coming," type 5 words in the comments. I agree with heaven. That's your covenant. That's your handshake with the Almighty. And after this video, I want you to do something practical. Call someone today and bless them. Not someone who deserves it, someone who needs it. Then write down 3 specific areas where you expect God to reverse the verdict. Employment, health, relationships. Write it, date it, watch God move. Because here's what's happening in these final minutes. God is not just proving them wrong, He's rewriting how you see yourself. That's the deepest vindication of all. Not when they finally recognize you, but when you finally recognize who you've been all along. A warrior, a survivor, a chosen vessel who refused to quit. And heaven has been taking notes the whole time. Now stay with me, because in the next moments, I'm going to release prophetic declarations over your life and pray a prayer that will shatter every chain of invisibility. Don't you dare leave now. This is the part where heaven breaks through. Chosen one, we've arrived at the moment where words stop being theory and become power, where confession stops being religious routine and becomes warfare. I need you to do something right now that might feel strange, but I promise you it's going to break something off your life that's been choking you for years. I want you to say these words out loud, not in your head, out loud, because your voice has authority in the spirit realm, and the enemy has been banking on you staying silent. He's been praying you keep your mouth shut about who you really are, but not today. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. That beat is proof you're still in the game. And if you're still breathing, God's still writing. Now say this with me slowly, like you mean it. I was never forgotten. Say it again, louder this time. Let your own ears hear what hell tried to erase. God has the final say over my life. Not the doctors, not the bills, not the kids who don't call, not the mirror. God has the final say. My age is not my limit. It is my testimony. You hear me? Every wrinkle, every scar, every year they said you were wasting, that's not evidence of decline. That's a receipt of survival. That's proof you outlasted what was sent to kill you. God is turning the tables in my favor. Right now, not someday, not when you deserve it. Right now, in the unseen realm, tables are flipping, accounts are being settled, and the people who counted you out are about to be confused by the favor that starts showing up in your life. One more. This one's the hardest, but it's the one that unlocks everything. I forgive those who misjudged me, and I bless my future. You felt that, didn't you? That tightness in your chest when I said forgive. That's the chain. And the only way to break it is to let it go. Not because they deserve it, because you deserve to be free. Now, chosen one, I'm going to pray over you. And I need you to receive this with everything in you. Don't analyze it. Don't question if you're worthy. Just receive. Father, I come before you right now on behalf of every soul watching this, every heart that's been carrying disappointment so long it feels like bone. God, they've been told they're finished. They've been made to feel like extras in a story that moved on without them. And tonight, I'm asking you to do what only you can do. Prove them all wrong. Prove wrong the voices that whispered, "You're too old." Prove wrong the fear that said, "It's too late." Prove wrong the shame that kept them hidden in the back row of their own life. Lord, show your glory through their story in a way so undeniable, so surgical, that everyone who forgot their name will be forced to remember it. I speak to the spirit of disappointment right now, the one that's been sitting on their chest at 3 a.m., the one that makes them scroll past photos of people living lives they thought they'd have. I break that spirit in Jesus' name. It has no legal right. It has no future claim. It's done. And I speak fresh strength into tired bodies. God, you said in Isaiah 40-31 that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength, that they'll mount up with wings like eagles. So I'm asking, you renew them, not someday, now. Let them feel it in their bones, in their breath, in the way they stand up tomorrow morning. I'm praying for divine opportunities in these later years, the kind that make no earthly sense, open doors they didn't apply for. Bring people into their path who see their value when the world saw a number. Let this season be the one they talk about for the rest of their lives as the year God showed up and showed out. And Father, protect them from bitterness. Don't let the weight of the weight turn into poison. Don't let what they survived become the thing that kills their joy. Guard their hearts, keep them soft, keep them expectant. Now, chosen one, if you feel the presence of God where you are, if something just shifted in the atmosphere around you, I want you to put your hand on your chest and say this out loud. Lord, I receive this. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you're signing a contract with heaven, because here's what just happened. God heard you. He marked this moment. And the vindication that's about to unfold in your life isn't going to be quiet. It's going to be loud. It's going to be public. And it's going to silence every voice that said, you didn't matter. You were never forgotten, chosen one. You were being prepared. And what God's about to do next is going to make everything you lost look like kindling for the fire He's about to light in your life. Now stay with me because we're not done yet. There's one more thing you need to hear before you go. Chosen one, I need you to see something with me right now. Picture this. You're walking down a New York City street. Maybe it's Fifth Avenue. Maybe it's a quiet block in Brooklyn where the leaves are just starting to turn. Your steps are slower than they used to be, but there's something different in your posture now. Your shoulders are back. Your head is lifted. There's a light in your eyes that wasn't there 6 months ago. And as you walk, a young mother stops you. She doesn't know your name, but something in your presence made her pause. She asks you a question. A real one, not small talk. She wants to know how you made it through, how you survived what should have broken you, how you still have faith when the world gave you every reason to let it go. And in that moment, you realize something that takes your breath away. You were never an extra in this story. You were never background noise. You were never filler. You were never the person God could afford to forget. You were always a main character, a pillar, a witness, a carrier of something the next generation desperately needs, but doesn't even know how to ask for. Listen to me. The Apostle Paul said it this way in 2 Corinthians 1:4. He comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. That means every tear you cried in secret wasn't wasted. Every night you sat alone wasn't forgotten. Every betrayal, every loss, every moment you felt invisible, God was turning it into something you could give away. He was making you into a lighthouse, not for yourself, for the ones coming behind you. Your survival is not just a personal victory, it's a message. Your faith is not just belief, it's evidence that God still moves. Your scars are not shame, they're sermons that preach louder than 1,000 Sunday mornings. And the people who wrote you off, the ones who moved on without you, they have no idea that God was using their rejection to forge you into something they could never become on their own. Something rare, something unshakable. You were never forgotten, beloved. You were being prepared. Prepared to stand when others fall. Prepared to speak when others go silent. Prepared to carry hope into rooms where despair thought it had won. And here's what I need you to understand. This moment right now, you hearing this message, is not coincidence. This is God whispering to your spirit, it's time. Time to stop hiding. Time to stop shrinking. Time to step into the role I've been holding for you since before you were born. Because there are people in your family who need to see that faith still works. There are neighbors who need to know that God hasn't abandoned this generation. There are young people drowning in hopelessness who need an elder to look them in the eye and say, I've been where you are. And I'm telling you, there's a way through. You are that elder, not because you're perfect, not because you have all the answers, but because you're still standing, and your standing is prophetic. Hebrews 12:1 calls us a great cloud of witnesses. That's you. You are part of the cloud. Your life is a testimony that floats over the stadium of the next generation, cheering them on, proving it can be done. So don't you dare take this word and keep it to yourself. If this message met you tonight, share it. Send it to someone who also believes their time has passed, because the enemy wants the elderly isolated, voiceless, convinced they have nothing left to offer. But God is raising up a generation of seasoned warriors who refuse to be silenced. And if you want more messages like this, messages that speak directly to your season of life, that honor where you've been and where God is still taking you, subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. This space was created for you, not as an afterthought, as the priority. And here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments, write one sentence, just one. What did God remind you of today? Your sentence might be the exact line someone else scrolling through needs to read. Your words might be the lifeline that pulls someone back from the edge, because that's what witnesses do. They testify, they speak, they refuse to let the truth die in silence. So tonight, when you lay your head on that pillow, I want one thought echoing through your soul. Not fear, not regret, not the voice of those who forgot you. I want you to hear this. God has not forgotten me. And sooner than I think, sooner than they think, He's about to prove it in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Your vindication is not just coming, beloved. It's already in motion. And the best part of your story hasn't been written yet. Walk in that, live in that, breathe in that, because you were never forgotten. You were always seen, always loved, always chosen. Now go be the lighthouse.